Grant Robertson.
Much, Mr. Chair. I feel like the parent who has to do the thing that they never ever want to do, to sit their child down and say, "I'm sorry, there is no centre." So, for David Seymour's benefit, this is the ACT Party equivalent of the difficult parental conversation. The market's broken. It's completely broken. It's not delivering housing to the majority of New Zealanders to buy who want to buy it. It's broken. It is completely broken. So standing up and making semantic arguments about the difference between affordable housing and housing affordability is just perpetuating the purist model that I know David Seymour believes in. So, Mr. Chair, I know David Seymour believes in this as an article of faith. But Mr. Seymour actually needs to look around and realise that the market's broken. It's not delivering housing affordability. It's not delivering affordable housing. Bill English, the Minister of Finance, stood up straight before the budget and said in the last 10 years, only 5% of new builds have been affordable. That's right. He acknowledged it. And it was actually interesting, while Mr. Seymour gave his first intervention this evening, Nick Smith was in the chair saying things like that he absolutely was right. And hear, when David Seymour said that there was no place for an affordable housing requirement within special housing areas, which seemed a little odd to us on this side of the House because it's already in the government's law. And in fact, they've got a requirement for 10% affordability in Auckland now. So it's a little odd for Nick Smith to do that. And then he followed it up brilliantly by another intervention. I think it might have been when Ian Lees-Galloway was talking, saying, it won't work. It doesn't work. Well, it's in his law. Why is it in his law if it doesn't work? The point is, it's not working because the whole special housing area process is not working. That's the problem, because we've only got 57 of the 154 special housing areas with anything actually happening, even remotely close to happening on them. So the problem here is that the market is broken and it requires an intervention. And that is the problem that David Seymour has. It is surprising that the Minister isn't prepared to back the SOP in Materia Ture's name, because he himself has already started the ball rolling here. We need these special housing areas to be delivering a range of housing, because what we want in New Zealand are communities to develop that aren't ghettos, that actually do provide opportunities for people to live in cities, close to where they work, making sure that we're not creating developments that are only for those who are the very, very wealthy. That's not what New Zealand was built on. And if David Seymour's got a big problem with all of this, he needs to look back and he needs to go to any public meeting in New Zealand, which are mostly attended by slightly older New Zealanders, and say, who in this room got their first house through a state advances loan? Or who got their first house by capitalising the family benefit? Governments, successive governments, have intervened in the housing market to give New Zealanders a fair go at the Kiwi dream of owning their own home. And that's what needs to happen here. So here's a chance, here's an opportunity to do that. The ultimate way to do this, Mr. Seymour, is actually a program where we really intervene in the market to fix it, which is Kiwi Build, where the government leads the housing development program of affordable housing. We don't just leave it up to the private developers. We actually say that here's a chance for the government to show some leadership and develop affordable housing. So the special housing areas, we don't know what the counterfactual is in terms of how many of these areas would have been developed anyway. I know here in Wellington, when you look at the list of special housing areas, most of them are ones that would have actually or were already underway or would have been developed anyway. Right. But we're prepared to give it a go. We're prepared to say, yep, let's get in behind the special housing areas and see if we can make them work a little bit better. But they're not going to work to deliver affordable housing unless we actually commit as a parliament to making that happen. That's what this SOP is about. That's what the government should be delivering on. They've already got it in the legislation for Auckland. Let's make it possible for everyone around the country.
Alfred Ngaru. Chair,